Today we're going to make an Italian classic tiramisu. We're going to be using the sponge finger, the Ladyfingers that you can get in your store. They usually come in a packet, so you'll find them in the biscuit aisle, the specialty baking aisle. We're going to use our instant coffee to make our coffee marinade for the biscotti, and we're going to use our mascarpone cheese. This recipe allows for 900 grams of mascarpone cheese. We're going to start by making our coffee mixture so we can let that cool as we make our mascarpone filling for the tiramisu. So we're going to start by boiling the kettle and having our hot water. I like to make and do about a tablespoon of coffee for a cup of water. And we use about 3 cups of water for this exercise. And I make it a little sweet because there's not a lot of sugar that goes into the mascarpone either. Adding 3 tablespoons of sugar. Now kettle's boiled. So Daniel's going to take that and just fill it up to the 3 cup line. Yeah, up to where it says 24 ounces. And then Daniel will just whisk that in and dissolve the coffee. Now this recipe calls for amaretto. I think the recipe is great without the amaretto. So if you like that almond flavor, go ahead and use it. You know, Kahlua is very good too with the coffee flavor as a liqueur that goes in it. Or you can experiment and use rum, brandy, whatever you like. But traditionally some amaretto or almond essence goes into it. Now we'll just taste that. See if it's alright. Yeah, it's strong enough for what we're going to do. Now we have our mascarpone cheese that's been sitting at room temperature. Now Daniel's just going to mix it up and make sure all the lumps are out of it and it's nice and smooth. What I'm going to start with is our 7 egg yolks. And we're going to whisk those and aerate them with 30 grams of sugar, which is half of what we have here. Because the other 30 grams we're going to whisk with our egg whites. So we have aerated our yolks and 30 grams of sugar. We're going to be using our mixing bowl again. So the first process is just to, Daniel has softened up the mascarpone, nice. So we're going to add the whisked egg yolks to the mascarpone. And Daniel's going to fold that in gently until the egg yolks are incorporated. And I'll wash the bowl and we'll whisk our egg whites. So it's 5 egg whites with 30 grams of sugar. So that's good. We've folded the yolks into the cheese and there's no more white cheese, it's all yellow. So now we'll wait for our whisked egg whites. So we take our 5 egg whites and our other 30 grams of sugar. And we're just going to whisk that up and then we'll fold that into our mascarpone mix. So we have our nice soft peaks on our egg whites. I'm going to add those to the mascarpone mix that has the egg yolks already. Now Daniel will slowly fold in those egg whites and keep the volume and the air in the mascarpone mix.
It's too much.
That's fine. Yeah, you're doing good. You go from the side, like you're doing, under the center and fold it over. Yep, perfect. You can even take some of the egg white and push it into the cheese. There you go. And then just keep folding it in. Now for this purpose we're going to build our tiramisu in a cake form. and turn it into a tiramisu torte. And you just want to make sure that there's no more white of the egg and it's all just incorporated well, and you've got the nice creamy mascarpone filling. So we have our mascarpone mix, we have our coffee, our sponge fingers, biscotti, and we have our cocoa powder. What we're going to do is start soaking the sponge fingers and layering them in our cake tin. Daniel's going to help with that. These are really absorbent. So you only just want to basically dip it in, take it out, and place it in your cake tin. What's really important with tiramisu is when we start layering in one direction our sponge fingers, the second layer you want to go 90 degrees and go in the opposite direction. So you're doing a crisscross stack with the biscotti and the mascarpone, and that's what gives you dessert the strength when you go to serve it and hold it together. So we're going to do that, and we'll make our first layer of biscotti. Where you end up having gaps that are too small or smaller than the biscotti, you can just end up breaking them. And you want to make sure you fill in all the holes nice and easy. So you can soak it, you can break it in half, and then you can just fill in the edges like so. After we make our tiramisu, we want to just let that coffee mix soak in. So we leave the dessert overnight in the refrigerator to let all that coffee soak through the biscuit correctly, and let the mascarpone also soak into the biscuit to hold together. Sometimes you want to break the ends off a little shorter so they're long enough to go in there. And then that one, just place it in wherever it goes. There you go. Just break it off in the right spot. We can soak another one, and we'll fill in another couple of side edges here. And snap it. Yep. And we'll just push them in the side. You just want to fill in the holes, basically. So it's filled in and there's no gaps. Then we take our mascarpone mix, and you want to just layer the whole biscotti mixture, the biscuits. You just don't want to have a too thick a layer between the biscotti biscuits when you make your next layer. So around about half a centimeter, quarter of an inch is about all I leave between the biscotti layers. And then we take our cocoa powder on top of the cheese, and you would just want to make sure you leave an even layer if you want to cover it and give it that little bit of chocolate flavor in between the layers as well that goes with the coffee. And then we repeat. And we're going to actually put 3 layers of biscotti on ours to fill it up on the cake tin. And Daniel will be helping with that, so just stand by. So we finished our tiramisu. You saw we put 3 layers of biscotti in there and the mascarpone. Now we have a little bit of mascarpone mix left over. We're going to place this in the refrigerator to get cold overnight with the tiramisu torte that we're making here. And then we're going to use this to help garnish and finish the top of the cake. And we'll get to see that tomorrow after we've let this rest for a day in the refrigerator to get cold. So we've had our tiramisu in the refrigerator for 24 hours. What we're going to do now is just undo our cake ring. You want to run your knife around the edge just to clean it and separate it from there. And take it out. Now you got the edge. It's going to have some cheese on it. And we just want to make sure we smooth that edge out because we're going to decorate the edge of the tiramisu with just some grated chocolate that I have. What did I say?
Tiramisu.
Tiramisu. And we're going to leave it on the cake base that we made it on. And to decorate the edge, I'm just going to pick it up and we'll take the edge of the cake over the top of the bowl. And you can just scoop up your grated chocolate and apply that to the edge just to decorate it. And it's just a cooking melting chocolate that I melted into a block from chocolate buds and let it solidify again, and just use your regular vegetable grater just to grate the chocolate to have. And just make your way all around the edge. We're going to decorate this. Yesterday, if you remember, we had the leftover mascarpone mousse and we've let that refrigerate and get cold as well. And we're going to pipe that on the top as part of our decoration. We made it all the way around. So we're just going to take our mascarpone mousse and we're going to pipe just arabesques all the way around the cake and to the center. So we piped the top of the tiramisu torte with our mascarpone mix that was left, decorated with raspberries because fruit with a creamy dessert is always good. Then we're just going to finish it with our cocoa powder, and we're going to garnish it with fresh mint, and Daniel will place those on. While Daniel's putting on the mint, I'll get a knife so we can cut this bad boy.
So that's our tiramisu torte, and hope you like it. Please leave a comment down below and please subscribe.